Hey, Merry Christmas, everyone, from the Shadows podcast. I'm your host, not Santa Claus, even though I may be shaped a little bit like Santa Claus. Shane Grove here, and on this very special Christmassy edition, I wish we had some sound effects, like some sleigh bells or something. Um, is joining me is a very, very special guest who is always in the giving mood. Boy, that sounds terrible, doesn't it? I shouldn't say it. Is 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 Heather Moser of the Small Town Monsters family. Heather, Merry Christmas to you, and welcome to the show.
Merry Christmas. Thanks for having me.
Now you're like, I don't know, man. If he shows up with mistletoe, I am out. I am out of here. So we don't normally. I don't even know what day it is. I'm in the season, in this festive mood, opening presents or everything. But we kind of wanted to do a little episode for all of our fans, all of our listeners, and give them a little present of something to do this week between Christmas and New Year's. And since this episode will live on forever, if you catch this, some other time, 5 years from now, you could still go to the Small Town Monsters YouTube channel and check out what they're doing. So Heather, tell everybody where they can go, what's going on in the Small Town Monsters world, what you're doing, because you're doing some really cool stuff. And let's just start there.
Oh man, so much is happening with Small Town Monsters right now, but YouTube is a great place to start. You can watch a lot of the different series that we've got going on. Eli's new series, On the Road to Discovery, Bigfoot on the Road to Discovery, is out. Alexander's Dark Coast just wrapped up, but you can catch up on that if you missed any of those episodes. We've got Sasquatch on Earth that just wrapped up not that long ago that you can catch up on, and Mysteries and Monsters, another thing of Eli's. There's just so much content, and some of our movies we even put out on YouTube for you to watch as well. And if you don't see them on YouTube, then they're on Amazon, or you can check out Tubi. Some of them are on Tubi, and the other streaming platforms as well. But it's just a lot of, especially Bigfoot centered content right now. I would say YouTube's really Bigfoot heavy right now. Not that we don't have some Dogman things on there as well, because the last episode of Mysteries and Monsters had to do with Dogman up in Wisconsin. And we have Werewolves on Earth, which was a movie we released not too long ago that also deals with werewolves. And let's see, Christmas time. I would like to say that we would know by this point when American Werewolves 2 is coming out, but I'm not sure because we had issues with our distributor, which has caused all kinds of havoc.
The name that shall not be said.
Right, exactly. But American Werewolves 2 is finished. It's out. Our Kickstarter backers have it. So if you are a Kickstarter backer and you haven't watched that yet, check that out, and check out Chupacabra, because that's out there for you now too. But yeah, so that's what's going on, and we're gearing up for Kickstarter, which is in February, starts February 1st. And that is the best way to support us, to back our Kickstarter. And it gets you perks. You get different rewards that we haven't announced yet, so I can't say too much, but different rewards. And then of course you get early access to all the movies, so you don't have to worry about, like, the people that wanted to watch American Werewolves 2. If you back our Kickstarter, you've got it. You're not waiting on it like everybody else. So there's a lot of benefit to that, and it helps us a great deal.
Now is there? When I signed the contract for the first American Werewolves, there wasn't some hidden language in there that I have to go out and personally hand deliver any copies of American Werewolves 2. or not? Am I going to be surprised by something?
You didn't see the box of DVDs that we've got waiting for you
I
to
did.
hand
I
out?
did. I didn't. I didn't. I mean, I'm still waiting on some royalty checks from the first one, but if
Yeah.
so's everybody else, right?
Yeah, right,
Okay,
exactly.
we're not going down that road. But I mean, so number one, there's tons of content already up, really cool content. There's cool things coming. If you got some cash for Christmas and you don't know what to do with it, maybe save it for the Kickstarter program and join in all the small town monster fun.
Yeah.
But I do want to ask, because I know that you are out on some of these movies. Like, you're out on location. You're interviewing witnesses. You guys are. I don't know how much investigating you guys really do other than going out and. But what are a couple things that have really like shocked you out there to where you're scratching your head about what happened or what you just heard about, or steer our listeners somewhere to go watch something that you yourself witnessed firsthand in filming that really you feel like, man, you guys gotta check this out.
Well, the first series of Sasquatch Unearthed is we filmed it on Chestnut Ridge in PA, and on one of our nights that we were out investigating, filming and investigating, we all saw spook lights, and some of us, it was the first time that we had seen spook lights moving in the woods, and that was it was entertaining and unnerving all in one. Entertaining to see people's reactions, and then unnerving that it was even happening. Overall exciting, but that the Chestnut Ridge episodes were pretty intense. Now recently we just got back from LBL. The stuff that we filmed there won't be out for a while, but LBL is pretty creepy at night. We were out a couple times when it was darker. Luckily, there was a large group of us. We're not wandering out on our own. Well, Alex might, but the rest of us don't.
He doesn't really. You mean bait? I mean, Alex.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't realize that you're letting him go out on his own. But
there's a reason we send Alex in now. Yeah. So, but it was anything like that. LBL is just creepy all around. It's just a weird place.
So, because I think I was texting you while you guys were there, and even the texts were kind of creepy as they came back. It was like, I'm like, please text back. I want to know that you didn't get, eaten by a werewolf. But I mean, I've heard so many stories from investigators and people down there. Like, it really does just sound like a place that is, if there's something creepy going to be going on that you can't see, but that you are going to feel, that's going to be a place. Like, what is your take? Like, after being down there, what is your own personal take on what's happening down there?
I mean, I don't know. It's a section of land that people were forced out of. They didn't want to leave, and the government made them leave to create this area that's the forest now, nature preserve. But so I don't know if you can see all of these abandoned cemeteries, you can see some abandoned buildings, and it looks like it was just forgotten about. Even though the government did come in and supposedly had turned it into, like, going back through old newspaper articles, the way that they had told the citizens was that you're gonna move out, yes, but we're gonna turn this into like a travel mecca for people. Like, this is gonna be amazing. And then they didn't really follow through with that. It just looks like it was kind of abandoned overall, and that just gives it a creepy vibe even during the day. Not to mention, when you're out there, your cell phone is about useless. So if there were to be issues, you're on your own. But and then when you get at night, of course, because we're out in the middle of nowhere, it's as dark as it can be. And we didn't mess around too much outside, like in the deep woods or anything, during the days, because it was at the beginning of hunting season when we got down there. So we were very careful about the areas that we went to, because you can hunt on that land. But I don't know. It just seems like an area that has been abandoned and forgot about. Even to this day, it just seems like stuff was kind of left to be taken back by nature, and nobody's cared to do anything with it since then. So that was pretty.
And it's all government owned land now. Like they kind of
Yes.
took. So, so I've heard, and I don't know, but that within this land there are like cement bunkers. Did you see those?
Yeah, we went to some of the bunkers.
So, so what is the purpose of cement bunkers on government land? I mean, I've heard theories about these, but what
I have no idea why they're there. The places, like, I think it was the last night that we were there. When we were out, of course, we had Shannon LeGros and Aaron Deese with us. They were, because they were hosting, and we went to one of the bunkers, and Aaron just started like digging on the ground just to see what the floor felt like. And it sounded kind of hollow underneath where we were, but I don't know. I have no idea what the purpose of them were originally. Some people had said that certain aspects that look creepier than they actually are were like water troughs that have been just disintegrated, broken up. And of course, just any buildings that have started to fall away into pieces look creepier than they would have when they were all together. But yeah, I have no idea what half of this stuff there was beforehand.
But I mean, now, so they didn't try to turn this into a national park, but they wanted to turn it into a camping or like a outdoors kind of, like, because I've been to a lot of national parks. I don't remember any bunkers,
right?
Any concrete bunkers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that they didn't really do what they promised they would do, because it was supposed to be, this was something that as we were driving through, Seth kept bringing up was, what's drawing people here? What would be the purpose for anybody to even come to Land Between the Lakes? There's nothing there. They don't have, there are resorts on the outside of it, but there's so much land. There's so much they could do. They could have a bunch of trails that are more than just walking trails. They could have ATV trails. And I don't know. It just seems like a missed opportunity, but I don't know why. I think it was a choice.
But so, it just brings up so many questions, because if they relocated people because there was really something dangerous out there, then why would they let anybody in, back in?
Mm-hmm.
So, but was there then something really dangerous there that has been taken care of, and now it's okay?
See, that's the whole thing, that it's difficult to say, because you get into the stories like the massacre from the 80s supposedly happened, which may or may not have happened. We don't know for sure one way or the other. But if you take that story at face value, then there was a camping area that once that family was murdered, then it was kind of leveled and forgotten about. If you go to that locations today, there's nothing there. Not really. And it certainly doesn't look like a place where there would be a bunch of RVs parking. So if you go by that story, then there was something there, and then they shut it down. But I don't know. It also lends itself to kind of, even while we were there, we would see the black helicopters fly over. And we were like, while we were filming a dialogue scene, and one of the black helicopters flew right over us. And we're like, wow, that's cool. That, no wonder people start to think something's going on. And
I have worked outside every day for 25 years. And do you know how many times a black helicopter has flown over top of me?
How many
Zero.
times?
Zero. And I work
Yeah.
for the government and they're still not checking up on me. So it really
Multiple times we saw that helicopter in just the few days that we were there. Well, I don't know if it was the same one, but we saw black helicopters multiple times while we were there.
you guys' reputation precedes you.
Yeah, they were just checking up on us, wanting to know. We almost had it all uncovered.
Well, I'm excited to see what you guys did. And I mean, I'm kind of disappointed that I never get asked to go on any. I mean, Chandler Grove gets asked, Aaron D. I mean, nobody ever asked me. But anyway, whatever. I mean, maybe I'm not as good looking as Shannon or as dynamic as Aaron D's. I don't know what's going on. But so I do want to ask. So the one series you guys had on YouTube that was filmed on your family's property, where Seth had his first is
encounter.
his first sighting.
Yeah.
So is the stuff still going on out there?
So yeah, that was the Bigfoot project, which if you guys are bored over Christmas break and you haven't seen it, you can go back and watch all those episodes. They're up there for you on YouTube. But so no, there hasn't been a lot going on here. Actually, what happened within the last year was a pretty major pipeline went through.
Okay.
And they cut down significant sections of the woods along the property edge to put the pipeline in. So I don't know if that, I mean, I would assume that would have something to do with things damping down. But I still go out. I haven't gone out in the last month or so, but I still have rocks and crystals and things that I put out. And I go and check on them every once in a while, but nothing's been moved or anything like that. It still does feel creepy at night if you're out in the one section of the woods where the cabin is. Like you just get an unwelcome feeling, but that's about as far as it goes. I haven't been hearing anything other than coyotes.
I mean, because the level of like activity in a couple of those episodes was nuts. Was just
I know.
Nuts. And I thought, wow, this is going to be a place that you guys are going to get stuff. But like you said, that they've come in and kind of changed which is ironic because wasn't the part where Seth had his sighting a clear cut for a pipeline?
That was a clear cut for a pipeline, and they ended up adding more to it. So that section where Seth saw his or had his sighting is wider than it was initially.
Oh, really?
For that.
Okay.
So they even widened that out. But then they expanded it more through other parts of the property as well.
So that leads me to the next thing. Everybody out there, if you need a loan, since there's another pipeline going through Heather's property, maybe she's the person to ask. I want to say that,
Yeah, right.
So, do you have something else going? Like, you do a podcast, and I don't like you guys just started it recently, right? Because I know you've always been doing stuff, but this one called The Lore You Know, right? That's not that old, right? I mean,
No, so we did The Lore You Know for I don't even know how many months, a year or so ago. And then we lost our podcast editor. So all the podcasts stopped. Monsteropolis and Sasquatch and The Lore You Know got all of it. It was pretty sudden. And then this year, at some point, Seth was like, well, you can bring it back. It won't be the same as in like there's video format, but only for our squad members. When we put it out, there was video format free on YouTube for everybody. But now it's just the video is squad only, but you can still listen to the podcast wherever you would listen to podcasts. But we just started that back up. And episodes come out every 2 weeks. And I sit down and talk with storytellers and people who've collected folklore from the area. And yeah, that's pretty much the basis of that. Just BSing with people and hearing stories.
So if you had to, like, what are some of your favorite episodes from the lore, like if you could tell people to go check out a couple episodes, what were some of the best, and we don't want to say that the ones that you don't mention aren't great, because we don't
you're setting me up here is what you're doing.
But listen, anybody knows that's, they have to know that there's somebody better than them out there. If they're gonna...
So this is a hard lesson for some. No,
a hard lesson. If you don't get mentioned right now, go back and practice a little bit more at whatever it is you're doing.
Well, for this season that just came out, the one that we just have the videos on for squad members, I think my favorite interview so far has been artist Jonathan Dodd.
Oh yeah, okay.
It was just a great conversation, and then at the end, what I do is I always ask people to tell me a story. Mm-hmm. And Jonathan was ready. He had a story ready to go, and he went ahead and did voices and everything. like voice acting.
He's great. He is great. I will say that. Yeah. He is great.
Yeah. Yes. So that tickled me. So that would be my favorite from this season. Now, last season, were the videos that you can watch on YouTube. Anything with Les Odell in it, I interviewed him twice. Les is so much fun to talk to, and he's a great storyteller. Anytime I need to get him on this season too, but anytime I can talk to him is a good time. So I would say check those ones out for sure. And this, by the way, is also not saying that the ones I didn't mention are any less, like you said, especially because some of the people that I didn't mention are my coworkers.
Oh gosh. Well, they have to know they're no good. Anyway, they have to know.
Listen to Aaron Deese. I interviewed Aaron Deese when he got hired, and he was like my first interview on this series. That was a great talk too. I'm not saying anything bad about anybody.
Oh no, he was a great interview. We had him on, and he was absolutely fantastic. I mean,
yeah.
We got to talk to him forever. He's got so much energy.
I know
that he brings.
Yeah,
but to be quite honest, he just wears me out because I'm old. And I don't the energy. I don't have even the desire to keep up with the energy that he brings. I mean, it's just it's just embarrassing. So, and I don't know if I've asked you this before or asked Seth this, but you guys have such a wide variety of movies and documentaries that you guys have done. Is there any subject that you guys have that you're just dying to really go and investigate and learn more about and do a documentary on? Is there one that you've just been bugging Seth and he just kind of puts it off? This is time to throw Seth under the bus because
well, I had wanted for a while for us to do Goatman, and that's finally happening.
I saw that. I'm a little so this is you guys went and did an investigation on the Goatman legend?
Yeah. So it's gonna be a like what we did with Chupacabra, which I know isn't a wide release yet, but it's like a wider look at the phenomenon. So it's going to be a larger scope of the Goatman thing. So it's not like we're focused in on one particular Goatman legend, because he's all over the place. So Goatman was one of them. The other one that I would love for us to do at some point, because it freaks me out so much, is the Wendigo. But I don't know how. I don't know when that'll be, how that would fit into things. But if we could get on that at some point, I would be pretty happy.
Ooh, that's the Wendigo Skinwalker stuff is it's so creepy. Mm-hmm. Because the stories that I've heard about those where people run and and we did a whole, we did a whole episode a couple years ago where the judge and I were kind of throwing it out there that, and not to be, not to disparage anybody's belief system when it comes to that, but it's almost like the Wendigo and the Skinwalker may be the same type of entity, but the further east to the west you go, what's a Wendigo becomes a Skinwalker. If that makes sense,
Right.
And it was what do we know? We don't know anything. We're just trying to keep from having one show up at our door. So, but it was a really interesting look and dive into, where those stories originate and just the little things that are different between them. And and I know I have a good friend from high school who's married to I believe her husband's Navajo. And I just asked him one time, and he's like, oh no, you don't even say that word. And it's like, why? Because they'll think that since you're talking about them, that you hey, come on over and visit, and it's like, really? And he goes, no, that's no joke, man. He goes, he's like, it's no joke. And that sort of stuff really, where is that rooted? That's right. How much is that just, parents and grandparents telling you something to keep you straight? Or is that rooted in some kind of reality that we don't really understand,
Yeah, that's
I saw the Goat Man, and I'm like, the judge and I had actually started a screenplay on a Goat Man horror movie. And I'm like, oh, really? Gosh, what are they doing? Oh yeah, because
we heard about it, and we were like, we're doing it first.
You stole. I probably sent it to you, and you guys just no, I'm sure, but it'll be interesting to see what you guys did, what you guys found out, and the different, like you said, there's more than just one, and and how interesting the different stories that you guys came across. Now, without giving anything away, what's your opinion on the Goat Man?
My opinion is that I would never want to see one, because the people that I've spoken to that have had an encounter, because initially when I started looking into this, I saw it more like an urban legend type situation. Yeah. And still the idea of something that looked like a goat man is freaky enough. But then I've started to talk to people that have had encounters with them. And they don't seem very friendly. They don't seem super cuddly. They're not as vicious as like Dogman. It's not one of those situations, but it's one that I just think that whatever it is, it's something that I wouldn't want to encounter. But I was just excited to find people that have stories, so then it goes beyond an urban legend at that point in my mind. Because it's not just there was this thing on the train tracks, so we hear. People are actually having encounters with them, so that elevated it in my mind.
The people that you talked to then, were they in some of the same areas that the older stories were from?
So the people that I have talked to are not like, I haven't found anybody yet who has been like at Pope Lick and had a sighting at the train trestle. I have not talked to anybody there. The ones that I have found and been speaking to are at places where I didn't even know there was a Goat Man story to be had. So that's pretty cool.
Now, is there any truth to the ugly rumor that the Goat Man is just a distant cousin to the Jersey Devil, and he was kicked out of the New Jersey area because of of bad behavior and terrible breath or something. Like he didn't get into the whole Jersey Beach thing.
Yeah, he didn't fit in that scene, so he had to leave. Had to hoof it out of there.
And hey, everybody. Now that is the real Christmas present. That joke right there. That was fantastic. So anything else before we'll stop. We'll let everybody get to enjoying their Christmas. We'll let them go and start digging into the small town monster stuff, the lore. They'll get to, listen to that. What is there anything else you want to let everybody know about?
Yeah, just the reminder about the Kickstarter is important, but also Monster Fest 2 is coming.
Yes, Monster Fest 2. Yes, Monster Fest 2.
So, and that's coming at the end of June, but you can buy your tickets now. So that's another Christmas idea. If it's Christmas Day and you're listening to this, you don't know what to do, super last minute, go get a ticket on stmmonsterfest.com.
And I hear tale that if you are at Monster Fest 2, there might be a chance to listen to some podcast record their 500th episode live. You can maybe sit in on that. I don't know who that is. And there's an ugly rumor that one of our group members that has yet to make a public appearance, the Ozark Howler, may be in the house that day for Monster Fest. I know we have fans everywhere that are like, come on, man, we want to meet the Howler. It's like nobody cares about me or the judge anymore. It's just like, can we meet the Howler? So I'm hearing that stuff might be in the works. But I know we are looking forward to it. Nita's looking forward. Phil, everybody had such a great time at Monster Fest. You guys put on such a great event. And thank you for moving it away from my anniversary. Because since I spent the first day being married at Monster Fest, I was like, oh my gosh, am I gonna have to celebrate our anniversary and then go back to Monster Fest? I'll never live that down. So thank you for moving that away, even though I had nothing to do with it. I'm going to tell myself that I got that much pull, and that's what Seth did. But no, it's a great event. You guys did. I'm looking forward to being there for the Friday night stuff this year, and kind of getting to talk to everybody. It's such a great. It's just a great hangout with everybody that enjoys all the stuff that we all do, and so many great vendors and stuff. I mean, just great people, and you guys just is first class, the whole event. And we were so glad to be part of it, and glad to come back and hang out again this year.
Yeah, we're stoked. It's gonna be great.
I mean, we feel blessed. I mean, I feel blessed that in Ohio we have this cool stuff going on. It is. It does. It just doesn't seem like if you'd have told me the second grade Shane Grove that, and however many years into the future, I won't say how many it is, that I would get to be hanging out with people that talk about Bigfoot and UFOs and ghosts and people that make movies and get to do that stuff, I'd be like, whatever, you're insane. Right? Only Leonard Nimoy gets to do that. So no, I feel blessed that you guys do all this stuff, and that we get to be a little bit of a part of it and get to experience it. So that's what I'm thankful for. So I hope that everybody listening is has a great Christmas, or is going to have a great Christmas going into the new year. And I know that we all are thankful for the people listening. You guys do great things and have great fans. We have great fans, and I'm glad that you joined me on Christmas Day. I mean, now I hope you got everything that you wanted. I don't.
Yeah. I got it all.
I know. I don't even want to show you the socks and underwear that I got for Christmas. But Heather, thank you so much. And tell everybody where they can go find all the small town monster stuff.
So go to YouTube and type in Small Town Monsters. You'll find all of our stuff there. Find our channel. You can go to smalltownmonsters.com and get the latest news. Look up Monster Fest updates and everything you need. Our shop is there as well. If you wanted some merch, it's all right there. smalltownmonsters.com.
Now, are you obligated now before we sign off to tell everybody how great Seth Breedlove is or anything? I don't know. Is that part of the deal?
This is part of it's written into my contract. Yeah, he's great.
All right. Well, Heather, thank you so much, and Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the From the Shadows podcast. Until next time, never shy away from the darkness or what may be lurking in the shadows. We are out.